phone for 8 hours with you.
Not gonna do 8 hours, huh?
David's like, "Where's your dedication, you bitch?"
Yeah.
Like,
Get
just
together,
really
Yasha.
aggressive
Come
for no
on.
reason.
See if we get any random viewers on here. All right. Hold on one second. Hello and welcome everybody to Flicker Effect. This is a podcast where each week we chat about the latest happenings in film, TV, and pop culture. We're recording on Sunday, January 3rd, 2016, and I'm not going to give this an episode number. It's a rehearsal where we are rehearsing on Google Hangouts on air. This might get published, might not. So no number for this one. We're just we're chatting, we're hanging out. And I'm David Lotz. Joining me this week is Yasha Wilson.
Hey, what's going on?
And Michelle Curry.
Hello, everyone.
No Bobby this week. He's out doing something. I don't know.
He's probably watching Star Wars. Let's just be real. He's probably watching Star Wars.
That's probably true.
That's a decent bet, honestly.
That's probably
a fair one.
You could take that to Vegas.
I could say 50-50 chance on that.
You could take it to Vegas.
Yeah. There's very good odds on that. Very good odds on that.
It really is. It really is.
So, this will be a laid-back show. If anybody actually ends up hearing this, we're just going to kind of be hanging out here, giving Google Hangouts on air a shot, talking about whatever. How's it going, everybody?
It's going. Happy New Year.
Happy New Year.
Happy
2016.
New Year.
Did I say 2016, by the way?
You did.
Okay, good.
You did.
Look at me.
Yeah.
I got the year right. Thank God.
Yeah.
I'm glad it's, start of a new year. Let's start out professional.
Yeah.
Hey, do either of you do resolutions?
Not really, no.
Well, if by resolutions you mean make promises to myself that I'm going to break, I do that kind of all the time. So there's really no need to just make a new list.
It's a year-round thing for you.
Yeah, I am dedicated when it comes to that. Every month I make myself some resolutions, and every month I'm disappointed. I'm just kidding.
I don't believe in them. I really don't.
Don't believe in them.
Like, I think because people make these things and they get it all in their head, and then the first 2 weeks, like out on like a workout trail or at a gym, it's insanity. And then it dies off because people realize there's no way I can be this committed to this. I haven't been in the past years. Like, I think people just get too locked into like being able to change themselves overnight, not realizing it's not quite that simple. You have to really work at it.
Yeah, no, not that I disagree with you. Just curious what you...
I don't know. I try to, I guess, push myself in different directions or try different things or be a little open-minded when it comes to certain things. But those New Year's resolution people that come to the gym and stuff, they drive me crazy.
Yeah.
Like, I was talking to a guy that works there the other day. He's like, it doesn't really get that busy. And I'm like, maybe not for you, but like I'm out there using all the equipment. And it's mind-numbingly frustrating when you have somebody that doesn't have the proper gym etiquette coming over there and just either taking the machine or taking the weights and doesn't wipe it down. It's like, come on, man.
Well, the not wiping down thing. Oh my! I mean, I've actually almost gotten into arguments with people. I've been like, dude, and they like look at me and I'm like, dude, wipe it down. Like, I'm not wiping your sweat. That's disgusting.
Right.
Yeah. I had a little old lady jack me for my machine the other day. It was kind of intense. Like my friends thought it was hilarious too, because I'm not kidding when I say a little old lady. Like, I mean, she was probably in her 60s, 70s, glasses. I had all my stuff set up there, like my water bottle, my towel, and I was bouncing back and forth, which a lot of people do early in the morning because I go at like 4:30 in the morning. So it's still relatively slow. She comes over, literally moves my stuff and just starts working out. And I'm just like, hey, would it be cool if I just kind of like finish my set with you working in? Like, that's totally cool. She snapped at me and walked away.
What?
I thought it was, I'm not kidding. This is a true story. True story. 100%. She looked at me.
What was up, huh?
She looked at me and said, I don't understand why you people think that you can just reserve machines and walk around and do all this other stuff.
You people.
And I'm like,
you people.
Like, I swear to God, I didn't know whether or not to take it as a racial comment or a regular comment. Like just
you're
like
a regular gym person.
I'm a regular gym person, so I have the audacity to think that I can take up two machines and bounce back and forth in between sets. But she literally said, "You people," and got up and walked away. And my friends saw this interaction. My friends saw this interaction, came over to me, and they're like, "You just got told by a little old lady." And I'm like, yeah, I'm kind of floored as to what just happened. And I'm trying to take that in. And they're like, "You're a bitch. That little old lady made you her bitch. You better watch it. I'm going to go get her next time I need some help." And I'm like, yeah, that just happened. Holy shit. All right.
Wow.
Yeah. So bottom line, the moral of that story is don't mess with that little old lady and don't ever think that you can leave your stuff there and think it's safe.
Right. Actually, I saw an article today on the Sunday morning show about, it was just a quick little thing. It was like an opinion thing on resolutions. And this guy's like, I'm not making them. He's like, I'm resolving to eat the exact same amount of pizza that I ate last year. And I'm resolving to, I'm not going to go running. No, because you can get hurt. And why risk that? He's like, why exercise? Why deal with it? He's like, and I'm just going to keep it how it is. That's my resolution. I'm going to keep going the way I'm going because things are pretty good. He's like,
awesome.
Everything's fine. I was like, yeah, that's how we all should be. It's just fine the way it is. Like,
I mean, that's cool. That's a cool, like, little article and a little story too. Like, I mean, he's like, hey, my life's pretty damn good because so many times lately, it feels like everybody's trying so hard to make things better for themselves or envy somebody else's accomplishments. To hear somebody say, "Hey, I'm doing okay and I'm cool with the way things are right now," is really kind of refreshing.
And the one I liked was kind of his financial one. He had 4 basically. And so the financial one, he was like, I'm not going to worry so much about saving too much. He's like, we're not big spenders. He's like, but when it comes to like giving my wife gifts for Christmas and for her birthday, I'm going to keep spoiling her. Yeah, I resolve to continue spoiling my wife on her holidays. And that's what I'm going to do.
Awesome.
And that's okay. He's like, I'm okay with that. He's like, if we wind up broken in the poorhouse and we don't have heat and we're all retired and we can't afford the electricity bill, at least we'll have nice sweaters to put on to keep ourselves warm. I was like, you go, dude.
I'm sure you were probably too, like, taking that article and like, look, honey, to your husband, like, check this out. See this? How he continues to spoil his wife? Yeah. Pay attention to this bitch.
Yeah.
This guy knows what he's talking about.
I'm trying to think. I can't remember his name. It was Ian Michael Hall. I forget. He's used to. So he used to do like opinions for like I Love the 80s on VH1. I could see him perfectly, and I can't remember his name fully. But yeah, so he did it was just a little opinion thing. It takes like 2 minutes at the end of the Sunday morning show. They have different ones every week, but It was just like I was like, yeah, hell yeah. Fuck resolutions. Like, just if things are going great, just keep the good going. Why mess with it?
That's pretty cool. That is pretty cool.
Cool. So what else is new? I'm in the middle of, oh my God, we're doing our top 10 show in a week and I need to watch a bunch of movies zone right now.
The scramble.
Right.
And I still have only watched like one more since the last time we recorded.
David, have you seen, I don't remember this. This is really bad, and it could be just because I'm tired, but have you seen The Hateful Eight yet?
Yeah, I've seen Hateful Eight.
Probably no. I mean, what?
Well, before
like,
you said
that,
most likely whatever movie you're going to say is going to be a no, but then you pick the one movie that I would absolutely see. Yes, I saw Hateful Eight.
So what's the one movie you've seen thus far in your week cramming to catch up for the year?
I watched Love and Mercy today. It's only like $1 rental right now on iTunes, and I wanted to watch it anyway. So I saw that. I was like, oh, well, hell yeah, I'll watch it. I'll watch it right now. So I watched Love and Mercy today. And you saw it, right?
Yeah, I did. I saw it in theater.
I knew somebody had reviewed it on this podcast. I couldn't remember who it was. I think maybe Bobby saw it as well. Did you see it, Yasha?
What movie?
Love and Mercy.
The one about the Beach Boy, Brian Wilson?
No, but I really wanted to. I really did want to see that one. That was one with Paul Dano, right?
Yes.
Yeah, he's in it, and John Cusack's in it. And
yeah,
I didn't have a lot of desire to see it other than just hearing it was really good.
You're not a biopic guy.
I'm not a biopic guy. I mean, nothing against the Beach Boys. The Beach Boys are great, but it's not like I'm a big Beach Boys fan. Right. Brian Wilson. I was interested in his stories. I don't know enough about it. I knew he had some medical issues, and that's kind of all I knew, sadly. So really, this biopic was perfect for me because I learned a lot. And it was excellent. The movie was so good.
Yeah.
I was shocked how good that movie was. I did not expect that at all.
See, I like Paul Dano a lot.
Yeah,
like
Paul
I think that
Dano's
guy is
amazing.
so
Yeah.
amazing, so
And John
amazing. So it's
Cusack's
like
amazing in it. He's great. Everybody's great in it. Paul Giamatti is a terrible, terrible person, and it's not his character.
His character is a terrible person, and Paul Giamatti is a really good actor at being such a terrible,
Yes.
horrific human being.
Yes, he is.
well, he's pretty much a piece of shit and Straight Outta Compton too. Did you see that?
No, not yet. That's definitely on my list. I will be seeing that
That's
this
on
week,
the list, too.
if I can. But
I was surprised as to how good that was, like the consistency and how it moved forward. But he was kind of a piece of shit in that one as well.
Yeah, but Love and Mercy was very impressive. It was nice, especially for someone like me who didn't really know the story, because it was very mysterious in the beginning. The way it unfolded, you're kind of in the shoes of Elizabeth Banks's character, where she's like, "What is going on here?" Like, and I was like, "Yeah, what? This is weird." And who are these people hanging out with this guy, and why is he the way he is? I hear church bells.
An angel got its
phone.
wings.
That was my phone. Sorry about that, guys. I will turn the ringer off. My bad.
Yeah, I love the way the film unfolded. I loved how it jumped between older Brian Wilson and younger Beach Boys days Brian Wilson. Yeah, it was just it was a really well done flick, and that's a lot for me because I'm not like we just said, I'm not a huge biopic guy.
Right.
So for a biopic to be really, really good for me, it's got to be really, really good. And yeah, I liked it a lot. I was very impressed.
I remember when I saw it, I was the same way. I really, I enjoy the Beach Boys. They're cool.
Yeah, they are. They're great.
There's nothing, but I really knew nothing about the story of Brian Wilson. Like I knew there was some drama in his life, and I knew, that was about, and that was really it. And I was so surprisingly delighted at that movie. I mean, that movie finished, and I sat in the theater, and I was like, God, that was really good. Like you just are filled with this feeling. You're like, that was really good on a lot of levels. And I remember I liked it. I remember saying that in my review, and I was just like, yeah, this is. Yeah, I was like, and the sad part is, and I'll probably say this in the top 10 show, but I think it was sadly one of the most underrated films of this last year. It's like the movie that nobody saw, and everybody really should have seen this movie because it was really good.
Yeah,
but yeah,
it was impressive. I'm having a look. I couldn't remember who directed it. Bill Poland? Is that how you say his name? Was he done? He's a producer in 12 Years a Slave. What was he directed?
Pull it up faster.
Where are you directing credits? That's it. Old Explorers back in 1990 he directed.
Oh, wow.
Which is, who knows what this is. It's not. I was going to say it's probably a short. You usually see shorts like for first credits, but this wasn't. It was an hour and 40 minutes, whatever it is. But so it's almost basically his feature film debut. Not quite, I guess, but
well, he did a spectacular job.
Hell yeah, he did.
And this movie came back out in June.
Yeah.
So I mean, it's been around this year for sure. It's been a while.
And yeah, I mean, I don't know what the rental price is right now on other services like Amazon and such, but if you're an iTunes user, an Apple user, it's only $1 right now. I don't know how long it's 99 cents, but you can't beat that.
There was a pretty good deal going on Google Play too, but I don't know how long that was going on for either. But I remember seeing that and going, oh. Shit, that's a good deal too.
Yeah.
I need to watch movies. There's so many. Yasha, do you cram before our top 10 show?
If I haven't seen something and there's something that I really I have interest in, and it's like, I have to remember to watch this show. You know what I mean? Like, I try to stay up on top of like going to the movies, which ends up being like once a week, or at least maybe twice a week, or once every couple of weeks. I just try to stay on top of it at some point or another, so I don't have to cram, because that's a lot of television watching, very, very late movie watching. So if it can be avoided, yeah, but if
Yeah,
it can't,
I mean, I find it worse for me this year than ever. It's just, with us having our second child this year, ever since then, I've missed so much. Like, it's been even more difficult to get out to a movie theater and see a lot of movies this year.
You've had a very
Yeah,
busy 2015 though. You had a second child, you bought a house, you changed jobs. That's a lot.
Yeah,
you know?
yeah.
Like that's a lot for one person to deal with on top of let me find free time.
And I've always found in the now handful of years we've been doing this podcast that the new year will start, and I always make a resolution to myself to watch a lot of films like throughout the year and not wait like I am this year. This year, but there was no avoiding it for me this year. But next year.
To your credit, David, like, I mean, I'm actually impressed sometimes with how much you do stay on top of everything with everything that you get involved with, that you have going on with. Not get involved with. It's not like you just met your wife and then had a kid, but it's like, I mean, like all the stuff that you stay on top of. Like, I actually do get impressed, not kind of, do get impressed with how much, when it comes to watching television shows, staying on top of news. Then we're talking about movies, and then the movies that you do see, I'm just like, when does this guy sleep? Like, you're talking about cramming, and I'm like when, bro? You have 2 children that are small. Like, when do you plan on cramming and actually getting the full enjoyment and or being able to not get enjoyment out of watching a movie? You know what I mean? Like, oh, that movie was dumb type of thing.
And David doesn't sleep though.
Yeah, sleep has been bad lately. That's got to change. That'll be another resolution to sleep. And now that I've got this Microsoft band on my wrist, and the first device I've had that will analyze your sleep, and I get up every morning and I'll cry a little when I see how much actual sleep I got compared to the time I told it I was asleep. I'm like, oh, it's terrible.
That's so sad.
It's so bad. Yeah. And I mean, and let's not even talk about TV shows. Like, God,
oh yeah, you're so bad.
Oh, it's bad. And and on shows that I just like, I can't believe I'm behind on, like, all the DC stuff on CW. Like, fuck, forget it.
I haven't even bothered to try and catch up on Arrow. Yeah. Like, that's just like, I fell behind in that, and I'm just like, well, all right, and just left it alone. Just like, I'm never going back. And then I hear that the show isn't as great as it was, so it's like I've lost interest in trying to catch up with that show.
Wait, which show? You said Arrow?
Arrow's been kind of interesting lately. I don't know.
Really?
I mean, not like I don't know. I don't know. It definitely feels like it's going in a different direction feeling, but I don't know if it's a good direction. I don't know. It's been weird.
I'm just super behind on it. That's all. And I'm just like, man, like, I haven't watched any of this season. Haven't watched it since last year, actually, last March.
Flash is getting better.
Flash is amazing. I will not miss that show. That show is amazing. Flash, I am so happy that show is so good, consistently good too.
Yeah, it really is. I'm impressed.
Yeah, I'm behind on TV.
Yeah, you
Moral
are.
of the story, or yeah, that's it.
You could be like me, and where I should be watching and updating myself on things that are currently happening, I watch shows from the 90s because I can.
I recently did the same thing. I mean, we were talking about gyms earlier. I don't go to a gym anymore. I work out at home, and a lot of times I'm working out right in this room, and I put on a movie or something when I work out, but then I went on a stint of West Wing again, a show. I mean, it's my favorite show of all time, and I every once in a while get the urge to watch it again. And I just kind of went through the first 4 seasons again. It didn't take me long. And I'm thinking about it. I'm like, how quickly I watched 4 seasons of this. I'm like, I could have caught up on everything.
Oh God.
Yeah, seriously.
Because that show, every season is like a 24 episode season. Like, you've watched a lot.
But that's the thing. I like the idea of something I've watched before when I'm working out. Right. I don't want to throw on a show that I've never seen. Though I will say, the last time I worked out, I did start a movie that I haven't finished yet, which I was enjoying so far. Chef. I started watching.
Oh, that's a good one.
And I liked what I saw so far, but I got to finish that one. I don't know if I'll finish it this week because I've got a lot of other movies to watch for the top 10 show, but
it's hard because you want to watch a movie or a show and give it your full attention. Yeah. But yeah. And it's so for me, for working out, I would say, yeah, it's good for you to have something that you're comfortable with, that you know really well, but that at the same time, like it does at the end of the day, you go, oh, that was an hour I could have been watching this show and caught up on that. So it is kind of, yeah, I know what you mean. But yeah, it's like the other day I was like, oh, there's nothing on TV. I'll just go to Netflix and throw Friends on. And then I watched like 3 episodes of Friends, and I was like, I could have watched so many other things that are current. I'm like, why the hell did I watch Friends? Like, I've seen every episode of Friends a million times. I could practically quote them.
Right.
Yeah, so I'm the same way with Scrubs, and lately it's been Unbreakable Kimmy Schmidt. I love that show.
Yeah, I haven't watched all of that show, but the few episodes I've seen, I liked a lot. That's a good show.
Oh, it's hilarious.
Yeah.
There's all these new shows that like I really want to watch, and I'm starting to come to the realization of I don't think that's gonna happen. Like I'd like to watch Amazon's Man in High Castle. It looks intriguing. And then there's a new one coming on, I want to say Hulu, and it's got James Franco. What is it called? It's like 11. It's the death of JFK is the title, is the date.
Oh yeah, I remember seeing the title of it. That.
And I was watching Hulu yesterday, so it played like 50 billion times. And I'm watching it, and every time I watch it, I'm like, God, that does sound fascinating. Shit, that sounds pretty cool.
You said Hulu, right? Yeah, speaking of Hulu, what's that show on Hulu that seems to be getting a lot of praise? I can't remember the name of it.
Casual?
Yes, Casual.
I've heard good things. I have a friend that watched it, and she's really into it. And so
yeah,
now I'm kind of
keep hearing good things about it.
Yeah, it's like a dramedy. Like it's kind of serious, but it's got some good dark humor to keep things light. But yeah, you never know. Yeah, there's all these shows that I'm like, oh, I really want to see this, and now I'm like, I'm not. I know it's not going to happen. I have to start getting realistic about my watching.
Yeah, I cry a little on the inside when I think about the things I'm missing. It's bad.
Well, I still have to watch Straight Outta Compton. I'd like to see Steve Jobs. There's a lot of films right now that I'm like, oh.
I'll definitely be watching Ex Machina finally this week. I actually went ahead and just bought it on iTunes. It was like $8. I'm like, everyone tells me I'm going to like this. It's $8. Screw it. I just bought it.
Have it forever.
So I got to watch. I'll be watching that this week. I'm going to find a way to watch Straight Outta Compton, if possible. What else is on my I have to make it happen this week list? I'm going to try to get out there and see the big, Big Short.
I hear it's really good.
I'm going to try to get out there to see that. I don't know if Spotlight's still playing around here anywhere.
I don't know. But I mean, yeah, if you can, you should definitely see Spotlight. That was really good.
I'm going to try to fit that in. I mean, hey, I took a whole day off work tomorrow just to watch movies, by the way. I don't know if I mentioned that. Yeah.
It'll be good for you.
I had a floating holiday to use. I'm like, you know what? I'm going to take the day off. My wife's going to be off work. We're just going to sit around. My son goes back to school tomorrow, so I'll just be, the young daughter. We're just going to watch movies all day.
Let's watch movies all day.
That's the plan.
Why not?
It's studying for me. I have a lot of studying to do tomorrow. Movie watching.
I've already started like writing my list and like ranking things based on what I've seen thus far. I'm like, yeah, I'm doing good.
Yeah. Yeah, it's gotta happen. I'm trying to think of what else. I think I even had a list on my phone.
Oh yeah.
It was a lot of movies though. There's no way I'd watch them all. I mean, I would love to. Let's see what was on my list.
So I got bored the other day, and on Facebook I saw under the Academy Awards they had this like game thing. I mean, not really a game, but it was like, oh, see how you compare to other people that you know and or people in your like peer group kind of thing, as far as movies go. And so I'm doing this thing, and it has literally every movie of 2015 listed on there. I mean, there's movies I was like, it's stuff from India, stuff from different countries, and I was like, I hadn't even heard of. But overall, I'm clicking, I saw it most of the time, which part of me was like, yeah, I've seen stuff. And the other part of me was like, oh, it's kind of sad I've seen this much in 1 year. I'm like, oh, God, I need to get a life. But yeah, it basically, when the results came up, it was like, yeah, you're 87th percentile, and it like listed, like I had everything kind of regrouped. So because I could see what I've seen. And then like the few that I'm like, yep, I want to see that, like Steve Jobs and Straight Outta Compton and stuff. And at the end, it's like you could post your thing to Facebook. I was like, sure, why not? Just for funsies. And like what happens is I get this big picture of Will Ferrell, and it says, I'm kind of a big deal. And I'm like, I don't know if I'm kind of a big deal or kind of a sad person right now. There's a fine line there. I don't know. But if you get bored, go to the academyawards.org. I think it is actually. Maybe it's com. I don't even know. But yeah, no, it's org. Go there and you can do the little thing and you can mark off what you've seen or things that you want to see, and then it'll rate you to see just how cool you are in the movies you've seen for the year.
I'll have to check that out. Mine will be pretty sad, but
I was, and like I was like, oh yeah, I did see that. Oh yeah, I saw that too. Like there were movies I'd completely forgotten. I was like, oh yeah. Right. And it's just movies for 2015. So it's interesting. I was bored. It happens.
I'll have to explain.
It took like 5 minutes. It really wasn't.
We're not judging you.
No judgment here, Michelle.
Very defensive.
Because I feel, like I said, I was like, wow.
If you want to be judged, we can judge you. I mean, that's fine.
It was like for my age group and like my gender, I was like, wow, 87%. It was like, you're the highest person of everybody you know. And I'm like, I don't know if I should be really proud of this. Like,
sure,
does this mean I need more of a life? I don't know. But yeah.
So you saw Joy, right?
I did see Joy this week. It was the only thing I saw in theater this week.
How was it?
I can't say yay and I can't say nay. I'm actually very mixed on it. I saw it a few days ago, and I'm still absorbing it in a weird way.
I mean, I would say that's not a good sign if you have to question your.
Well, okay, so yeah, I don't know. It's one of those things. As far as the storyline goes, I actually enjoyed the storyline. I was intrigued with it. The character of Joy, when she first comes on the screen, they play her as this woman who's hit this point in her life where she's like, what the hell am I doing? Like, I'm literally been grasping at straws and I've been just keeping my nose above water, and the sharks are circling, and damn it, something's got to change. And it's something that's very relatable to myself at that point in juncture in my life, but I feel like that's a very relatable thing for a lot of people. Some days you get to this point and you're like, what yeah. This is how far I've come. Like I'm at this age, we're just barely paying the electric bill. We're doing this, we're doing that, and we're scraping, and damn it, I'm tired of this. Like, something has got to happen in a positive way that's really going to change our life, And so I'm sitting there, I'm like, yeah, I'm relating and it's going well, and at times the pacing's a little slow, but I mean, the thing is with who's the director? David O. Russell. His movies, he tells stories in a much different way than a lot of other directors do, I think. And so there was kind of this jumping back and forth between true past and then like a fictional, like in her head kind of stuff. And it was okay. And I feel like I was with the movie for quite some time until right up till the end. And then I was kind of like, oh, that kind of ended on a ho-hum-ish kind of way. So I don't know, and Jennifer Lawrence, I think she's fine. I don't think this was spectacular work for her. I don't think it was her. It definitely isn't like her best, like top level movies that she's done. But, and that was kind of the other thing, was that basically everybody in this film, it was just all very kind of ho-hum performances, like nobody really stood out to me at any point in time, and I'm talking about Robert De Niro, Virginia Madsen, Diane Ladd, like Bradley Cooper, even. Like, these are pretty major actors and actresses, and nobody really stood out as like, that was, oh God, she pulled at me, it didn't speak out. So it's like, story-wise, I actually did enjoy it, and I just people were kind of like, oh, that was the dumbest thing I've ever seen. I'm like, I don't know, I felt it a very relatable storyline. But I think the execution of the film just wasn't there for me.
You saw it too, Yasha, right?
You know what, I did. And while I actually, hearing her description of it, I can think back and I'm like, you know what, that kind of actually sounds pretty accurate. My initial feelings of the film, I don't think mirrored that. When it comes to the performance of the other actors, they were fine. They were good, in my opinion. They served their purpose, and that was to support Jennifer Lawrence, because this movie wasn't about anybody else but Jennifer Lawrence and watching her. I think she did an amazing job showing emotion because that's what the movie was for me. Like watching her basically just portray all these different type of emotions throughout the film. Some of them were over the top. Some of them I felt like were spot on. Um, and she did it. I think she did a really good job of it. But as far as like everybody else's performance, I can go with what Michelle's saying because yeah, that makes a lot of sense. But I think I even said that in my initial review. They did a good job, but they did a good job just supporting Jennifer Lawrence because the only hero of the movie was Jennifer Lawrence. Like, I mean, she was the title character. She was the movie. It was about her. It was about her struggle, and everybody there was just basically to support her and showcase her talents. And I think that's really what the movie portrayed. I like the story. I thought it was interesting. I've since done a little bit of reading about, how close to accurate
Oh
this
yeah, I wanted to do
character
that.
was, and it's it kind of does follow truth to what she dealt with. When she first tried to launch her creation and her invention and whatnot. And you know that was pretty accurate, but it was still just a good story. And like you said, I mean, you said it best, Michelle. It's like David Russell has a really interesting way of telling stories. A lot of the time, I think he just says action, and they have a premise for the scene, and the actors get to basically do whatever they want. These actors obviously like working with this guy and how he does these films because they've collaborated with him like 3 or 4 times on 3 or 4
Right.
different levels. So did I enjoy it? Yeah, I thought it was a good movie. Is it a drama? Absolutely, it's very much a drama. It does lag in some parts, and the consistency, like you said, Michelle, is kind of like, well, maybe, but I did enjoy it. I did think it was good, and to me, the main hero and the main action for the movie was being able to watch Jennifer Lawrence showcase a lot of her acting chops. Because if you look back to like American Hustle, while she was in that movie, she really was a supporting character in that movie. She, to me, wasn't really the star of that film. That was Bradley Cooper and was it Jeremy Renner, I think was the other one, and
Yeah.
Christian Bale. They were huge parts of that movie, but she was just kind of like a nuisance that just popped up here and there. But this movie was very much for her to shine and showcase her talents as an actress.
Yeah, I had to look up as you guys were talking about it. I couldn't remember if she was nominated for a Golden Globe, and yeah, she was.
I would
Yeah.
be really surprised if she doesn't win an Oscar. I mean, it's a big
For this,
statement, but it's like I
That's a
feel
pretty big
like
statement.
yeah, it's a big statement, but it's like I feel like, everybody loves her so much. I mean, I haven't seen anything else that like or the other ones that are like being brought up. Who the other Golden Globes was it? The Golden Globes, and then that's usually who gets
Is
nominated for Oscars, right?
is Brie Larson in that category for the Golden Globes?
well,
'Cause
this is under musical or comedy.
okay.
So
How did Joy get under musical or comedy?
and that was going to be my
Jesus.
that was going to be my next question for you guys,
You
because
know-
I see also for best motion picture, musical or comedy, it's nominated. And
Really?
yeah, so I take it it's not so much a comedy.
I mean,
Well, it is a musical.
Yeah.
They do have music.
there is music in the movie, but
Yeah,
I mean,
not a musical.
No,
right?
and like
Nobody's
as far as
breaking out in the song.
right, as far as comedy, it's really kind of like when there would be jokes, it was really more like the hilarity of the situation. It was more like, oh God, this is my life. That's sad.
Yeah.
Like, and again, like it was totally relatable in those moments. It was like she was having these moments of going, oh my God, this is my life. This is what's
Yeah.
happening. Oh God, kill me now. It was like, yeah,
It's kind of
I
like a
agree, and
social
that's kind of
awkwardness.
funny,
Yeah,
right?
kind of like a social awkwardness and making you laugh at that situation. But yeah, that's kind of what it was going, and you hit it right on the nail on the head. Do I think this is a comedy? No, I've literally told people, I was like, no, this is a drama. Hands down.
Yeah. Oh, it's totally a drama. Well, I mean, as far as Oscar goes, if Brie Larson is not nominated for an Academy Award, something is way fucked up. Like,
I mean,
in the system.
I haven't seen Room, but I mean,
haven't
I would be
either.
shocked if she's not.
And
from
so
everything we're hearing.
if say Jennifer was in it and Brie was in it and a couple others, I just couldn't see Jennifer getting it for Joy. No,
Yeah.
like I mean, I didn't think she was bad in Joy. I just feel like this was not her best work. I feel like there's been other things,
And
but I mean, overall, Joy was. I enjoyed it. I enjoyed the storyline, but it wasn't that spectacular to me.
But to answer your question, yeah, she is. Brie Larson is nominated for in the drama
Okay.
category. For
In the
actress.
drama category, yeah.
Yeah, for Golden Globes.
Well, come Academy Award season, that's going to be I can't see her not getting nominated. I would be like, I'd be throwing papers in the air, and I'd be just so mad.
Brie Larson.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I'd be again. I haven't even seen the movie, and I would be shocked.
Yeah.
Just based on everything I know about her performance.
Right.
There's no way she'll get a nomination.
Yeah.
Cool. You watch anything lately, Yasha? Other than Jordan?
I watched The Big Short today, and that was very much I can see that being nominated into a comedy or musical category because it was funny, but it is also really, really sad. Like the amount of discourse that they showed for the American economy, because we lived through this. Like all of us, bear witness to basically the collapse of the housing market, and people losing their jobs and losing their homes and just being overextended in more ways than one. And it was a damn good movie. Christian Bale was fantastic. Steve Carell was really good. Ryan Gosling was good. It was a little bit more. It was different than what I expected it. Not to give too much away, but Ryan Gosling kept breaking the fourth wall and talking directly to the audience throughout the film.
Oh.
And then they would bring in, because they used a lot of technical terms, some of them that I understood. And I actually want to watch this movie again because some of it is so deep, and they're talking so much about like how people are losing their homes, why they're losing their homes, all these loans, a triple A loan or whatever it is, and all this technical terms, and you get lost in the mix of this jumble stuff, and they'll just say out of nowhere is like, now a lot of you are wondering what this is. Here's Margot Robbie in a bubble bath to explain it to you. And boom, there's Margot Robbie in the bubble bath explaining the terminology in layman's terms for the entire audience. And I was just like, wow, I did not expect that. And they do that a couple more times with major, major stars. And you're just like, wow, this was totally unexpected. But here's this person doing this explanation. Here's this person doing this explanation. And I thought it was a really good way to help the audience stay connected to what was going on and really understanding how messed up this was. And it made me want to read the book, because I know it's based off of a book. But this was a damn good movie. And seeing the performances for some of these actors, you just know, like Christian Bale's character was so socially awkward and inept that you just know that if he met this guy, this is exactly how this guy is, and he's just doing that performance for him because he's that good of an actor. It's damn good. It was really good. I'm surprised that the movie's not doing better in the theater, and I want to see it a second time, and I could probably sit through it again today. That's how much I liked it. And plus, I hate to say this, but just so I can understand what they were talking about for the most part, because I did get lost in some aspects of the description and definition as to why, everything went to shit basically in America. And it's a shame because it's true. This is all true story.
It's the 2008 recession.
Yeah.
/ depression, depending on who you talk to.
Yeah. It starts in 2005 and it goes all the way through 2008.
Oh, wow. And it's, you and I had spoken before about the book. It's written by a guy named Michael Lewis, and he's the guy who wrote Moneyball and The Blind Side, and those are two other movies that I really enjoy. And I wanted to see The Big Short, and you saying that they break down the fourth wall, and I love it when films and TV do that. And so I'm like, oh, I know what I'm doing this week.
Yeah, it's good too. Like I go back and forth with when actors do that, but it totally fits for this movie. It's almost like just a narration of one of the actors doing it. And you're just, I don't want to give everything away because it's not, you don't need to. But just knowing that it breaks the fourth wall, and then they break down different things. And Brad Pitt was really good in it too, because Brad Pitt didn't play Brad Pitt. He was there, but it's like he had a very small but significant role. And he did a great job in it. It's just, man, talk about messed up. Like this is just really, really just mind numbing. And then they give you an explanation at the end of the movie. It's really, I really dug it. And my buddy I went to go see it with didn't want to see it, and he absolutely loved it when we walked out.
Nice. That's cool.
Yeah, I'm going to try to see that this week. I was just looking at box office numbers.
Yeah.
I see Star Wars is now right behind Avatar. It'll certainly pass Avatar for a domestic.
Yeah. Oh God, yeah.
I hope so.
Yeah, that's easily going
I
to
really
happen.
hope so. I'm glad. Like, it's 20 million away. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
definitely good. It's gonna
that's a
do that
done
next week.
deal.
It might do that, but it might do that by the end of the week. Okay.
I was gonna say, come
Right.
Thursday, it'll be like,
Yeah.
oh, great.
I'm glad too. Like, I'm really glad. That makes me happy.
Yeah.
Yeah, Avatar's a funny movie. You know, how much money it made, but then when you talk to people about it, how
Unimpressed they were with it.
yeah, it's
in the
just
end.
it's funny. I mean, I feel like Titanic gets the same got the same kind of rap. Like Titanic was a movie that when it came out, like I know I saw it. I think I saw it 3 times in that theater. It was like just such an event. Everybody was seeing that movie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But then, you know, I mean, don't get me wrong. I think a lot of people still love Titanic, but I could say the other half of people I talk to are like, it's overrated. Yeah, it's not that good. That's what I find.
No,
Most people I talk to.
I wouldn't say that. I mean, it was a fun movie, and I
I
dug
think
it.
I'm not dissing it. I like Titanic. I think it's a good movie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
I think a lot of people when you talk to a lot of people now, it's one of those movies that they look back and go, yeah, I liked it at the time, but it doesn't hold up or something. Like,
Yeah, I feel like I hear that too. Like I know a lot of I mean at the time my age group, my peer group, we were all, young high schooler girls and so we all loved it. And now when I talk to them, they're like, oh yeah, no. I'm like, I think I'm the only person that actually went to watch it for the storyline and the history of it and not actually just for Leo. And they all went for Leo. And so now they're like, oh, God, that movie was crap. And I'm like, it's a really good movie. I think it's still pretty good. And they're always like, oh, well, we were just silly little girls. I'm like, no, it was actually pretty decent. Like I was like, maybe you guys saw the movie for completely different reasons. That's why I think that's what I feel.
Well, I think that's also like, I mean, I remember reading something, I think, years ago. One of the reasons why that movie did so well, and it wasn't the fact that it was all these new people going to see it. It was the repeated business of the young teeny boppers going because Leo was in it, and
Kate showed
they
her
loved the
boobs.
story. Yeah,
There was that.
Guys were down with that. My age group too. They were like, Kate shows her boobs. Yeah, why not? It's cool.
So do you think that, with that being said, do you think that it's the repeated business that Star Wars is getting, or is it more and more people that are really actually interested? What's that?
I think it's both.
I mean, well, it's absolutely both, but I think repeat is a big part of that.
Like, it's funny. So again, on Facebook, a lot of my friends never really check in for movies or films that they see, but with this movie, everybody checks in on Facebook with it. And to this day, there's still friends that I have that are still checking in and seeing it for the first time this weekend. And I'm like, and then I have other friends that, I had a friend today, he was like, is 3 times in 2 weeks too much? No. And so it's repeat, and there's still people that were waiting until after the holidays because they're like, I don't want to deal with the craziness. Like they wanted to go to a much simpler, 12 o'clock matinee showing. They didn't want to go to the 7 o'clock craziness.
Yeah, I know. I've seen a handful of friends doing the same thing. And one who shocked me because he's a big movie guy, a Facebook friend. And I was shocked when I just saw he only just now saw it like 2 days ago or something like that. And I'm like, man, this guy is wicked in the film. Like, I can't believe he waited, but I guess he just really didn't want to deal with crowds. So he held out. And the funny thing, too, about Star Wars right now is that, and Bobby and I were actually talking about this off air this week, in kind of along the lines of what we were just talking about with Titanic and Avatar. It's don't get me wrong. I don't think I would be shocked if 10 years from now, people will be looking back at The Force Awakens and going, oh, it's really not that great. But it is getting the expected backlash. I have found, because, and I think that's just natural. Whenever you have something that's this popular, you're going to get those people who start to, that aren't as big of a fans as everyone else that are going to become a little more outspoken about why they don't like it.
Yeah.
And you're just seeing more and more articles about nitpicking every little thing about Force Awakens. I saw one, I think it was Huffington Post. I can't say that for sure. I don't know who wrote it, but, and this was obviously clickbait too, the way this title was written, but it was something along the lines of like 40 unforgivable like sins of The Force Awakens or something.
I've seen headlines like that.
And
I'm
I was like, all right,
okay, I'll bite.
I'll click on this. And then I start reading through them and I'm like, this is bullshit. I'm like, and this is Huffington Post, I
They're
think.
picking apart.
This is a big, like, a pretty major reputable news source.
Yeah.
And I'm like,
oh yeah,
come on, unforgivable. Like, don't get me wrong. Everything they were pointing out were things that I get that people are like, oh, what about this? But the word unforgivable was way out of hand. I mean, because like one of them was just, for example, the whole thing where Finn and Rey can hold their own against Kylo Ren in that battle. Not the article didn't not at all point out the fact that he had been shot by a weapon that had been proven throughout the movie to be a damn powerful weapon.
right.
And nothing like that. It was just like, oh, straight up, there's no way they'd be able to hold their own, and that was it. I'm like, come on, like, like, don't get me wrong. There's other things that I'm like, okay, I can get that. And hey, I had my complaints about the movie. But the movie's still a fucking great movie.
Yeah.
And
it's still a fun movie. Take it for what it is.
Yeah.
It's a movie. It's a fun movie. Like, I mean, if you want to get real technical and nitpick on it, it's like, hey, anybody remember that Leia totally made out with her brother? Like, you want to get really weirded out? Like, I mean, just think about stuff like that. And that was back in '77. I mean, like, it's just stupid to think of, like, if you want, you can find something almost about every single movie if you really want to nitpick on every single movie and just pick it apart.
Yeah, especially with any of these Star Wars films. I mean, you could go with any of those films in the original trilogy and write an exact similar article. I could make a 40 unforgivable sins of Empire Strikes Back if I really wanted to, and it's still a fantastic movie. Like, and still the continued, I think, backlash of the similarities between this and A New Hope. And I get that, but I still don't care. It's still a fun film. So,
right. Like, that's my one big complaint with it. And I still love that film. I still was like, oh, still awesome. Yeah. Still loved it. All good. Like, it's a forgivable thing for me. I'm like, it's fine. Yeah. It's totally cool.
By the way, I just realized I kind of said a spoiler about Star Wars, but it's been everyone and their mom has seen it now, so fuck it. Like,
if you're listening to this,
spoilers of it, but
yeah,
meh, all good.
Anyway, you were gonna say something, Yashin?
Yeah, I totally forgot what it was.
I did jump in there with that because I'm like, oh yeah, I was just talking about whatever.
It wasn't that. It's okay.
That's not the big deal.
It's fine.
But it's I'm just with you with that. It's just like, if you want to nitpick on it and stuff like that and look for something and you're just so disappointed, what exactly did you expect from the movie? Because I mean, I feel like this movie is just setting up for the passing of the guard when it comes to these new characters and new people and getting people excited about these new characters. And I really do believe that's what it is, and that's what we're setting ourselves up for. Because if I hate to say this, but it's like, if Luke doesn't die in the second one, he's damn sure going to die in the third one.
Right.
And we're going to have no more Luke. I would be surprised if Leia plays a big part in it anymore. She didn't have a big part in this one. So it just feels like it's just going to be a spiral of getting used to the idea of having these other characters that we're going to face. And that way we have these new heroes.
And I will say, without talking about any spoilers of the movie, but, I do feel like this is kind of an homage to that original Star Wars film. And for those people who are still bothered that it is and wished it had been a more original film, I mean, first of all, I'll say, hey, if this movie could have been more original and still a great movie or even better than it was, I mean, sure, that would have been nice. But at the same time, I have no complaints for how they approach this. And if your problem is that, oh man, it wasn't original enough, I will say I'd be shocked if the next two films in this saga, the Star Wars saga, episodes 8 and 9, it would appear to be they're going to be way more original, especially with Rian Johnson, writing and directing this next film. Like,
oh yeah, I cannot wait to see what that guy does.
Yeah.
I mean, and don't get me wrong, I get that this is obviously a big machine that isn't just going to let Rian Johnson make whatever he wants. Yeah, I'm sure there's a general storyline throughout this that's kind of he's going to have to somewhat follow, but at the same time, I get the feeling he is going to have some liberty to make some changes and make his own choices. And you don't pick a guy like Rian Johnson to direct if you want him to do his own thing. He's going to do his own thing.
Yeah. And they've done a pretty good job, as far as I can tell. And what we've seen, when Disney lets somebody have the fun that they want with the movie, they've done a pretty good job of saying, hey, just kind of stay along the guidelines and we'll be okay. Right. And that's really what we've seen, even as far back as the Avengers 1, the Avengers 2, and watching these these movies develop and get together, and it's like, hey, we need you to set up for this, and get ready for these characters, and kind of set it up for this, and let's move along this direction. Aside from that, go ahead and have fun.
Yeah.
I think when I see articles like that picking it apart, I'm just kind of like, you're just trolls and haters are gonna hate.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just like, whatever. It's like the people that get angry that every waking second of Game of Thrones isn't exactly like the book, or like Lord of the Rings, it wasn't to the T verbally or to the moment exactly like the books. Like, I'm just like, okay, I get, like, you can't have a 20-hour long thing here.
Yeah.
I think there's just people that are just always going to find fault with stuff in life. Like, they're just always going to find something that's negative to anything.
Yeah, exactly.
Whatever.
And in a case like this, where a movie like this is this insanely popular, those voices get even louder, and that's the unfortunate reality. And it's happens every time you have a movie.
Well, yeah, I mean, with popular culture, people like feeding off of the negative stuff, and that's what gets shown. The light gets shown brightly on people that are willing to be openly hateful or negative towards something else. That's what always gets the attention. So yeah, why not be a hater and just pick apart whatever? I don't know. Anyways.
Well, it's like I said when we first reviewed Star Wars. I, had a buddy of mine. I love the guy to death. He's a good friend. But he's like, oh, well, I'm going to send you this video that totally backs up all my claims as to regards to like why this movie wasn't that good and all this other stuff. And I'm like, no, you don't need to send me that. I don't need to watch a 5 to 7 minute video trying to convince me as to why this movie isn't good.
This. Right?
Yeah, I enjoy this movie. Leave me alone. Leave it alone.
Yeah.
Just like he didn't like it, cool. I'm not going to try to sway you to the other side. If you didn't like it, you didn't like it, dude.
Cool.
Exactly.
So yeah, next week, top 10.
Yeah.
We might do it live if this seems to be going pretty well. We might do it live on Google Hangouts. We'll see. If you're listening to this, if I actually publish it, I will definitely put it out there if we're going to broadcast that episode live, and I'll put the links out there for it on YouTube and Google Plus, I guess. Yeah. But yeah, you guys got anything else before we get out of here?
I don't know. I feel like it was kind of a slower week in news. I'm trying to think. Like
the holiday week tends to be, I think, a pretty slow entertainment news, film news week. Not a lot going on. So, I mean, what else? So, we got our first look at what's his name? As Doctor Strange. Yeah, those are pretty sweet.
Those were pretty cool.
That was really fun. Yeah, those are very cool.
Yeah, that was cool. And then like the pictures for Daredevil 2 came out, and it shows Elektra and Punisher, and that was kind of, I was like, oh, that's kind of exciting. Sweet.
Yeah, I haven't even looked at those yet.
No?
No, I haven't even seen a picture of Elektra.
Yeah. It was, I mean, it's cool, like I said, but yeah, as far as like major news of like somebody joining forces with somebody else, it's not a very,
well,
it's not a very busy
I'm looking at it
week.
right now. It looks like Coming Soon.net released Tony Jaa and Jet Li and Deepika Padukone joined the cast of Triple X. I don't know who two of those people are, but I think I know who Tony Jaa is, but I'm super stoked to see that Jet Li's in it. That's kind of cool. Like, I like Jet Li.
Mm-hmm.
So
sweet.
Cool.
Yeah.
But yeah, if you guys don't have anything else, I guess we'll go ahead and get out of here.
I really don't have anything else hanging out in my head.
Okay, if you guys don't. It was a good rehearsal.
I think so.
That was fun.
No live viewers, but I didn't tell anybody about it. So, I mean, you could still, with the Google Hangouts thing, you can still get people that stumble upon it. But,
right.
Though it's weird, like, when I logged in to create this, I guess Google Plus just went through a complete like change in the look. And at first it was like, okay, so we changed the look. Do you want to opt in? I'm like, sure. And I did. And then I'm like, I can't find Hangouts anywhere. I had to opt out of it to go back to Classic so I could do this. So who knows? Maybe nobody will be able to find it with the new setup. If even anyone's using Google Plus, no offense to Google Plus, but service right now.
Whoops,
yeah. Anyway, we're going to go ahead and get out of here. As usual, you can always find us on Facebook, Google Plus, Twitter. You can find links to those accounts on our website. Just look over on the right-hand side. I'm David Lott.
I'm Yasha Wilson.
I'm Michelle Curry.
Thanks for listening.